Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of JFC Hollywood and Friends. Actually, it's nice because I think it's the first time we're going live after 3 straight wins, so I don't want to jinx it. Okay,
You already did.
so
You just did it, by the way. Like, just.
Rafael, they always treat me like that, as bad as you can see. So with us for the first time, we had Rafael, president of the new JFC of New Jersey. Hi, Rafael, how are you doing?
Hi everyone, thanks for having us here.
Just a pleasure. As you can see, we're just here to have a laugh. And we have Giovanni. Giovanni, you remember that I always have your waterproof bag here with you for you, so whenever you want.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
And Bill and Giulio, you already know them, okay? So we have a tradition over here. So we have every guest that is going to join us for the first time. We're going to have a question for them. Okay, so we're going to ask them who is your favorite coach and your favorite player all time. Of course, for Juventus. So I'm going to have Rafael start. So.
Okay, I think that's an easy question for me. I started following Juventus when I was a little kid, and the player back then, we always had great players, right? But at that time, Platini was playing for Juventus, and that's how I fell in love with Juventus, and that's how I basically played when I was playing soccer. I was trying to emulate Platini, which obviously, didn't work out, but at least I tried. And then for coaches, I think I'll have to say Lippi, Marcello Lippi. Just because that was, again, going back to the period of my life, was basically adolescence, growing up, university years. So was a lot happening back then, but also Lippi, we won basically everything with Lippi, and he brought us joy also from a national team perspective. So I was in Berlin and the final. I was at the stadium.
For the World Cup?
For the World Cup. So
wow,
he gave us that as well. So
I definitely need to tell the story one time.
One time.
Giovanni, is your turn.
I have to go with Lippi too as a coach. It's again the World Cup and what he's done for Juventus, and when I was a kid, following with my dad, watching all games. So definitely had a big impact in the Juventus history. I kind of have Conte also as a coach, but with how things have gone and the teams that
I know that Giulio loved this.
The teams that he helped out, it's hard to mention Conte. But for players, I think the first one that really struck me was Pavel Nedved.
Wow.
Just the eager and the force that he was on the field. I just think he was unstoppable, and many teams were jealous of us for having that player, and they just making excuses here and there. But a special mention also goes for like the newest players. It's Dybala. It's always between these two for me. Two lefties, interesting, but definitely Dybala was pretty special as well. But overall in the history of Juventus, I would say for me, for what I've experienced, for what I saw, definitely Nedved.
Nice pick. I think it's the first time we have someone picking Nedved, right, Giulio?
Right. Can't argue with that, though.
Yep, absolutely not. So, guys, I already jinxed it, so I can actually say it again. So we coming for like the first round of the playoff. We beat PSV 2-1. It was a game. I'm not gonna say it was a decent game in my opinion. It wasn't a bad game. Of course, with this team clearly lacking inexperience, but we were. I think it was a great accomplishment taking out the win, and that basically give us like better chance to move forward and to go to the round 16. we're gonna see what happened on 60 next Wednesday, and as we see from the what happened today and yesterday, it looks like kind of. I'm not gonna say everybody because Borussia Dortmund won away against the Sporting Lisbon, but a lot of the other teams were struggling. Okay, for example, Atalanta lost in Bruges 2-1, and that's what this is a question that I'm gonna have to Billo, because Billo gave me like a super hard time after we tied 0-0 in Bruges. Okay, and now today we see Atalanta actually we've been losing 2-1. Of course, it's a different kind of game. Okay, we see Milan losing in Feyenoord. In Rotterdam against Feyenoord. So, what you guys think? What you guys think about the game and what happened in the last 2 days in Champions League? I don't know who wants to start.
Start with the new ones.
Okay, Raffaele, the stage is yours.
So I like several things during the game or our game. Obviously, I like Gatti. I like, how basically the first goal, it was him deciding we are gonna score now, and he went all in. And without Gatti, with that determination, maybe that we would not have scored. Obviously, McKennie, it's we all know about him. He's been a great addition, right? We almost lost him during the summer, and it's been a great addition. But for me, the main concern, it's not even thinking about our next game. It's thinking about next season. As you mentioned, Milan lost, Atalanta lost, and there is a high chance that we're not going to get, or we may lose the 5th place for Italy for the next Champions League. And so that worries me a little bit more than the actual game. I think we'll do good next week, but I still hope that we get that 5th spot. I think we need, and hopefully, the Italian teams in Europa League and everywhere else start doing good. So everything helps at this point. We're very close with, I believe it's Spain or England. I don't remember correctly on the coefficient. So
I'm not up to speed about the actual standing about that. For sure, we didn't make that many points in the last 2 days. But yeah, that's something like it can have like huge implication in the run for the Champions League, because like if we lose like the 5th spot, actually it's gonna be hard for us to get because it's going to be imperative getting the 4th spot. So, and beside McKennie and Gatti, and anything to say about the yesterday game, or were you satisfied, or we just happy just because we won because we think like there is a lot of issue with the team?
I'd rather think that a win, it's a win, right? We won. It's a 2nd consecutive win. Considering the Serie A game, I think there is a lot to do, both from a coaching perspective in terms of choosing the players, the change in the players in the second half. There are some players that need to get acquainted with the style, like Kelly. A lot of people were giving bad remarks for Kelly, but it was the first game really that he was playing. Hopefully Cambiaso can come back sooner than later. But I think we have interesting players. I think if I were Mata, I would try to position them in places where they could give the best, but I'm not the coach, so I support him 100%. But I still think that we can improve, both from a coaching perspective, both from a player's perspective, and even from a fan's perspective. We can all give more, even at the stadium.
Yep, definitely a great point. Brought up at a great point. Gonna pass to Giovanni. So I don't know many. You need to unmute yourself first of all, and I don't know how many games you see. I don't know what you think about the Juventus game. Whatever you
Yeah, so I definitely agree with Rafael on a lot of things. I have to start on the bigger picture again. Didn't look too great on the Italian teams this week. Lots of struggle, but again, like you can look at whatever team we're playing or they're playing, and it doesn't matter. It's Champions League, right? Um, all of the stats a lot of times are out the windows unless you're Real Madrid and pull some incredible magic or Carlo Ancelotti, something crazy. But again, I feel like Champions League is hard to determine based on so many factors like what's at stake, what's happening next season, where are you playing. So um, where the leg starts too, I feel like sometimes that sets the pace too. Um, but now speaking of our game, I think it was a really good game. There is this thing team wise where I still struggle to understand looking even like against Como, against Empoli, for example, um, the one good half and one bad half, or one bad half and one good half. I mean, I don't know. I mean, we don't know what's going on in the changing rooms and like what the coach is saying and all that, but there's this sense where they either think that okay, we can go into the game and control the game, and so when that happens, the first half it's complete madness, and then they go back to the changing room and they're like, all right, no, we can't control the game, we now just gotta ground and pound, and they come out and they turn it over and make something happen. Or it's the opposite where they're like, we're the underdogs, we gotta go into this game, we gotta push as hard as we can like we did with the PSV, and then they go back to the changing room, come out, and that is all out the window. So there's this level of concentration that needs to adjust for sure, um, and it needs to. I feel like it needs to be more constant. Um, Overall, again, I feel like a lot of the players were that we were waiting on are starting to show up. Um, for example, I was super pleased with Douglas.
Yep.
Douglas
Definitely
finally,
70 great minutes. 70,
right?
70 goal, yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. And the thing that I've noticed that I think helped our game was, of course, having Colomoni up front, which can be dangerous from every angle, but also having two players, one of them, which was Douglas Luiz, starting to verticalize more,
Yep.
starting to, instead of, how we keep swinging it side to side, he just started to like, all right, 1, 2, and then we send it forward. And I
Yeah,
think
definitely Douglas Luiz is something. It looked like a missing piece for this team. I actually is one of the few that actually go vertical. Actually, it doesn't just go vertical, but after they made the pass, actually it moved and occupied a different spot in the pitch.
exactly.
It's that one, and that we see something different. Yesterday, we see like Gatti and especially Vega. We start instead of just passing the ball like you were saying, like a you that it doesn't do anything. Actually, we just going back and we're just going to be forced. They start controlling the ball and bringing the ball up by with their feet. Okay, so actually they force the opponent team to make a choice or to go out on them, so they can free up other players. So there's something new I've seen.
Yeah, and
you're right.
I absolutely, if we anyone goes back and looks at the highlights, you can see that both our goals started from our defense.
Yep.
Gatti coming forward, pushing forward, Vega making a stop, Gatti finding the ball and pushing forward again. And so I think we're starting to create that solid core that we've been missing.
Yep.
And definitely that energy and proposition to just go forward, take a risk, just take that risk and go forward. I mean, even to be quite honest, even Vega, um, Renato, he did. I mean, I think he did great. He had, for moments, this might be too much, but I think he had hints of Bonucci style of playing, where he was.
Is that a compliment?
I don't know. I don't know.
On the pitch. On the pitch.
On the pitch. Because he had that proposition of just going forward, trying to even shoot or just sending those long balls to the wingers, where he would just jump over the block and the press from the other team and finding players on the outside, not necessarily having to go through Locatelli or Luis, where everyone from the other team were expecting that pass. So I think that was great. Like, he had 76 touches, 60 of 66 accurate passes. I mean, he's doing, as of right now, I think, starting and just being thrown into the team like that, I think he's meeting,
just the reaction he had, especially with the fans. The last minute, the last minute he did something terrible defensively. I think because really it was terrible, but thank God he was able to screen the shoot. I think it was De Jong. If I know, or De Jong or the other forward, I don't remember who was it. And he went cheering under the defense. I was like, thank God he was screaming because it was terrible move. But okay, yeah.
And I think. And I think, I'm sorry to interrupt, the other I think player worth mentioning, I've always liked it, he never really had a chance to shine, has been Timothy. Timothy, where I think we might be finding his spot. Of course, I would like to see him more up front, more forward, but it seems to be like he's a player that needs that space to run, to start takeoff. He has that pace, his legs are running, and then he can either cross it or just completely like shoot it full force. And he find a great connection with both Nico and Francisco. So I think Timothy is entering his peak time, and I just hope to see him improve better and better. Yeah, absolutely. Knocking on my table, everything.
Yeah. So, Billo, I know you were couldn't watch a game. I don't know if you were able to watch just the highlights. We talked about after the game. One thing that we were still struggling, and something that we already always point out that on the header, I think PSV Eindhoven was dominating us every time they would put the ball in the air. So I don't know have you seen anything different or?
No, but like you said about the game, I cannot comment about anything because unfortunately, yesterday I got to work and my schedule has been a little crazy. But the trend of the last few games, we have an emergency on the left side for sure, and right now we're struggling up there. And hopefully Cambiaso comes back and we can have like a person that we can rely on and be able to build. Versus like, oh my God, we have to pass the ball to Kelly and let's get close to him. He can pass 3 yards away. So that, but I'm not saying that Kelly is the worst player in the world. He just arrived and he playing off position. So
I agree.
Because we are in this situation right now. So I'm very happy for what I saw for Gatti being so involved, because right now, the moment of the season that you feel like your legs are going faster than the others, feel like you're feeling good. And I felt the way was Kalulu like probably a month ago, and right now probably it's Gatti, and we need that from the back because otherwise we are too predictable. Like you say, the way we build up, always passing back and stuff like that. Having Kalulu right now out is like a little bit of trouble because you don't have so much like somebody like that so good with reads. But now we have a new player. We have Renato Vega, and everybody's excited about him. And I think he has a big personality, honestly.
Yep.
And probably I wish he was not the one we got just for a simple like a loan. I wish he was like somebody we can keep, but it doesn't work the way with the Mercato, so you know that. Beside that, I think we gotta be positive, guys. 3 games, 1 in a row is what we need.
Yep.
We need
all time.
Yeah, and possibly we're gonna recover either Savona or Cambiaso from injury list. We're gonna start to have like a defense that is a little more back shaper. And right now we are the wingers, so it's something I want that all season. So We have the luxury of the game that if it is not working, you can sub him in 45 minutes. And nothing wrong with that. He's been playing every game, so he can have a game that is not performing. I'm fine with that. Yeah.
So best for last, we all four of us were quite optimistic. So Giulio, bring us down. So since Edo is missing today, so please.
No, I mean my take is, first off, like, it wasn't a given to win this one. Actually, it was probably one of the most important game of the last three. The most important game of the last three, because we're talking about 20, 30 million if they don't make it to the round of 16. So that's a lot of pressure. One thing I think that it needs to be mentioned is how this game shows something completely different compared to the other two games, right? We talked about Empoli, we talked about Como. Empoli, like, we saw like probably one of the worst first half we've ever seen them playing. Then with Como, to me, it was again a very bad game. We got lucky and we won at the end. A win is a win, I'll take it. And all of that, I've always pinned it to a lack of Juventus mentality, right? It's not for lack of trying. They always try. You see, they try. They really want. They try to do things. They're busy, right? But I don't think they've always truly believed they could have won the games. You know, in this game, I saw something different. I saw them actually trying, believing it, and wanted it to win, and they wanted it that way. It wasn't a PK, the last minute that the goalie gave us. It was something they were looking for the whole time at the end, you know, before they scored. So I saw that type of improvement, which is what we've been lacking the whole time. Like Juventus that goes down, you know, and comes back having control, you know, instead of being like chickens with their heads cut off, hoping that something happens. So I see an improvement from that point of view in a very difficult game. You know, it would have been very easy again to psychologically to just die. You know, again, you got a 1-1 at home with your supporters in front of that have booed you like in certain games. You know, instead they came back from it and they won a difficult game. So, you know, we talked about Gatti, wow, all these guys. I mean, Gatti, like, he was great today. Maybe next game is gonna be horrible. We don't know how they're gonna perform. That's the problem. Like, you never know who's gonna do well, who's not gonna do well. McKennie's good in Champions League against Como. I didn't like him. He was amazing against, you know. So that's something that needs to be figured out. But in general, I think we're gaining that Juve mentality where, like, you believe you can win the game and you win it. And that's what has been missing, and that's what I want to take away from this last game.
So we won 3 in a row. Quick question: is this a fluke, or we're building something up? Like, because now we're gonna have Inter on Sunday, PSV Eindhoven on Wednesday, then we have Cagliari. Don't remember where Saturday or Sunday, honestly. And then I don't remember. I think probably we're gonna have the Coppa Italia probably after Cagliari. So is this a fluke, or we are getting there, Raffaele?
I mean, I want to believe we are getting there, right? And I think to the point that Giulio made, or, you know, in that regards, is that as you win games, you start to believe in yourself. So you win the first one, you win the second one at the last minute, you win the third one with a little bit more easiness, if we want to say that. So once you start winning, I think the team itself, the players will start to believe more in their capabilities. I think, you know, honestly, we talk sometimes about our players saying that, you know, maybe they are not the best, or, you know, maybe we don't have the champions that we used to have before. But when you look at them individually, you know, that they are good players. You know, Luis, you know, you mentioned before, So I think it's we can continue. I think we are building onto something, but we also have to be careful that the first thing that goes bad, this team can quickly fall into a depression, if we want to call it.
Well, that's what get me crazy all the time, and you know me that well. Right, is like our fans in this moment. Everything if we never like in the middle, or we are good going to, or we are winning a Champions League, or basically we're being relegated to second division. So I cannot stand that. Okay, so now the narrative, since we won 3 games, you already see that Gatti actually right now is a best friend of Motta. It became all of a sudden. Until 2 weeks ago, they were fighting in the having a Royal Rumble in the locker. Now everybody's like a big friend. So I can stand that. That is like, let's do gossip. Let's do gossip. I know Billo is like actually he would disagree with me, but Joe, what do you think? Is a fluke?
It's. I think it's hard to get an answer from that. Yeah, I mean Mauro is right there on the spot, but I do believe that, as Raffaele was saying, I do believe that no matter what, these 3 wins, no matter against who, they just help with something. And I think the sort of like marasma that we've been having, the craziness and confusion and all the critics against Motta and all that, they can kind of go at peace for a second, give the team time to breathe, to realize, hey, we won 3 games in a row. Why don't we try and keep it going? And then we go from there. Of course, it can change with an injury, with going against Inter or like some other bigger teams, but it definitely could set a good foundation. It's just up to them to build from there or not. And again, there are so many other smaller things that are totally out of our control. Whether it's some missed calls or injuries again or things like that. That's like can't do much about it. I think what they're doing is they're just going in trying to give their best, and that's all that matters. As long as we see them like doing that, I think they will always have our support, right? And so and seeing them trying, it makes you feel even better and say, hey, if we lose, okay, we lost, but they were actually trying. And what Julia was mentioning, I think we had like the game yesterday, we had flashes of Juventus mentality this season, but it only happened earlier on when, I don't know if you remember, when we played against Leipzig, that we were under, and we actually were 10 men, and somehow we turned that game around in an incredible way. That's like already one of the best games that we had this season. Was just absolutely incredible. And then the other one was in that we were playing away, so not even at the stadium. And then the other one that I would like to mention is literally against Inter. We were at San Siro under 4-2, and we came back to tie it 4-4. So we have seen those flashes of that mentality, but I think it's just, a lot of them are new to the system and the coach himself too. And so sometimes it just takes time, but a lot of Italians are just used to, the quick gratification. And if it doesn't go that way, then it's all bad. So,
yeah. Billo?
No, I was thinking about right now about the Inter game. And
do you agree with Maurizio?
I think I will rest somebody. And if we don't lose more than 2-0, I'm fine with that. Of course, I want to win every game, guys. I'm not saying like I don't want to win against Winter, but if I have the opportunity to rest Colomani, Thuram has been resting already, so probably he's not in the best shape. probably Gatti, and maybe you take a Di Gregorio for a rest. You have Perini in that kind of situation, like 3-player resting, and probably Nico also. Nico taking a turn like out, and that's it. We'll change us these four, and everybody ready to give their life for the game of PSV. This is what I feel like.
Yeah, I feel the same.
Because to me, I'm a Champions League guy, man. To me, Champions League.
Yeah, but not just that. Just because what Giulio was saying earlier, we need to get to round 16. That's like the minimum.
No,
that
because
we need to do.
we could be in the top 8. To me, we could with the potential. Since we start so well, the Champions League. I don't see like the game above the game. The players are that the team they have in the top 8. I don't think they're so much better than ours. We could be there. We should have to put a little more effort in a few games, in particular when you win against Manchester City, man. You win against Manchester City, and you gotta be there. To me, I'm struggling with that. I have a hard time the fact that we are in the playoffs. So right now, you have to put all your energy there. To me.
Okay.
Of course, Derby Italia, nobody will ever want to lose with Inter because we all have Inter fans, pretty sure. And we know how hard it is when we lose against them. But if I make a conscious choice, I say, okay, we can lose against Inter if we rest some key players with them being ready to fight to the death against PSV.
Giulio, you agree? And about the fluke or not?
No, it's not about a fluke or rebirth. Like we were not like this horrible team when we were tying a game after another. We're not like this now, whatever we are now, because we won 3 games. You need to look like at the growth the team is. The team is growing. Is it playing better or not? From that point of view, I don't think so. I don't see that much more difference in terms of how we play. I like to think, like I said before, there's a different approach mentally to the game. So we're not lucky with the sequence of games that we have, because having Inter between the 2 most important Champions League matches, it really doesn't.
I always say that. It sucks.
Doesn't. Yeah, it sucks. But also, like, it's against Inter at home, and you're fighting for the 4th spot with 3 other teams. So you can't really say, well, it's okay if we lose that game. I don't know if it's okay if we lose that game, because you lose, Lazio wins. Now we're 5 points away from the 4th spot with other 2 teams that are gonna, either get where we are or even pass us. So and not making it to Champions League next year is as bad as not making it to the round of 16 next week. So I don't think we can think in that way. I'm okay losing that. Fortunately, we have some bench, that we can use. Like Nico can sit and Conceição can play. Really, it's not that we're having I don't know who instead of him. The goalies can switch. They're okay. Put them at the same level, more or less. It's not that you're risking I don't know what.
What about Gatti?
Huh?
What about
Gatti? Gatti's gotta play unless you wanna go and play against Inter with Kelly and Rocco Vega. What's his name?
I know.
So unless you do that,
play for a long time. This is what I'm saying.
Well, so this is the thing. You either play against Inter, the worst enemy we have in Italy, a game like that, or you play the next one with Vega and Kelly as the center backs. If you need to rest guy, or no. You can play these games with them. What you can do is like you can have Gatti play only 60 minutes, and have him rest like that. But you gotta start Gatti
Yeah,
and
I don't see how we can press Gatti for this game
you
until
can't.
Kalulu come back. No, it sucks for Gatti, but yeah, I agree.
You can. Then, depending on the game is going, then you can make, you can take him out and put Kelly in the middle.
Even if they have Thuram and Arnautovic out.
So Mauro is saying that Thuram and Arnautovic did not train today with the team.
That's what I heard too.
Yeah, but they had Taremi. Taremi is not a terrible.
Right, it's Taremi.
He's an experienced player.
They score with Bastoni and Dumfries mostly. So
exactly. Another thing Mauro actually is worried about is right. We got to make sure that the outside line on the pitch are clear, down and straight, because yes, that's kind of.
Also, let's not forget that you lose Sunday. You go into the Wednesday game again with even more pressure.
Well, you're still gonna have pressure no matter what, I think, for that.
Yeah, but like we said, like the psychological approach, like even a tie on Sunday, so you come after 3 wins and then you tie with Inter, who's fighting for the title. It gives you like a different push than like you lose 3-0 at home. So I don't know. I think Sunday's game, like I mean, maybe because I hate their guts so much.
Raffaele, what do you think? How do you think? How do you feel about Sunday game? How much do you hate them?
I feel good. I don't say we were gonna win, just knock on wood, or I want to be. But I have a good feeling about Sunday. I think we had a good chance to do good. I want them to do good. I think we need to do good, just because of all the reasons we just heard. But I think the game on the Champions League game, it's going to be a little bit easier. And the reason why I say that, it's because, yes, PSV, they play great. It's a team with history and so on and so forth. But I think the two times that we faced them, I think we were superior. And if we just play the game, we can tie that game, or we can even win it. I think we have a better chance against PSV. I'm not too worried about that. I think, I also don't like Inter. And, okay, I'm gonna say it. I hate them. I cannot stand
here.
You're in good company.
I cannot even think about the fact of we're gonna lose or we're not gonna do well. I mean, we're playing against Inter. The fans at the stadium know that. The players know that. We all know that. Hopefully, from the heart, it's gonna come up something more that everybody gives, and maybe there is a chance to get the 3 points.
Hey, we're being a little too submissive about this game, guys. Like, it's against Inter, and this year the only times Juventus has played well or partially well, if I think of Napoli, has been against Milan, against Napoli at least like 45 minutes. Bigger games, Manchester City. So Inter in Milan, we tied a game that was like crazy. So, dude, we're playing at home against Inter. Like, we gotta go into this game thinking you can win. We're thinking about, I hope we don't lose more than 2-0. We need to go and win. It's against Inter. That's what I'm talking about. Even us now, we have the mentality of, maybe we can lose this game. Like, that's what the team is giving us. We don't believe that they believe it.
No, Giulio, what I was saying, it was like, to me, so much important, the PSV game, that if you want to rest some player, to make sure in these key roles, they're ready to go for the Champions League. To me, unfortunately, since we're not going to win the Scudetto, to me, it was a game I will not fight for my life. That's it.
You can think in that way, though. Juventus doesn't think in that way. Juventus goes to win every game, and you
No,
compete for all of them. You know, you can choose Champions League or Serie A. Like you
yeah,
go, and that's why you have a deeper bench, and that's why the manager needs to be able to manage the
no,
players.
this is why I was saying like a situation like that when you have an emergency in certain areas is important that you preserve yourself for the biggest game. To me,
I agree with Roberto, though. I think the PSV game is somewhat. We have an edge. Let's put it that way. We have an edge. We have an edge. One, because an obvious one, because we won. So we go there, we can tie and still pass. You know, and then 2 games out of 2, we've been winning. So I mean, we have an edge on that game.
Well, look, you have a point over there, and something that PS Window did differently compared to the game we played in September. In September, they were more open. Instead, yesterday they were mostly waiting for us. Okay, they were more in the back, and they were playing this long ball to De Jong, who killed us with that. Okay, but so on Wednesday, well, let me say,
can I say
sorry,
Can I say one thing about that?
yeah, I'm done. I'm done. So I think on Wednesday, actually, they need to be in control of the game, so they need actually to attack. So that's what maybe it could be like a good thing for us. Yeah.
To be redundant, the first game we had Bremer, and you play 20 yards above where we're playing right now, and the young can't even play the game because Bremer is going to be no, but it was the first game. The young entered.
So, are you concerned?
Because they won't even start him because they know he's not going to dominate with a header, and he cannot run the 30-yard and be on the pace of Bremer. So that's it. So we killed them like that already. So
I'm curious. I'm curious. Me and Roberto said,
Raffaele.
Raffaele. I don't know why I keep calling you Roberto. I'm really sorry. Me and Raffaele said, I think this game, like, we could, it's actually like not too worrisome. What do you guys think? You're worried more about the PSV game? In terms of game itself, besides like the way behind or Inter.
PSV, to me, PSV in Dawn is the game you cannot fail. Okay, it's not that you actually please don't take me serious. Okay, you can lose with Inter. Okay, and we still gonna have like 15 games to recover because after Inter, basically, we play against Milan, Inter, Napoli, basically 3 of the top 5 in the standing. So actually, our schedule should become easier. Okay, even like we didn't do great with the smaller team this year. Okay, but the PSV is the game that you cannot fail. That's why, and I think we are superior than PSV Eindhoven. Okay, we are superior. We show like in the 2 days ago and 3 months ago. Okay, still, as Maurizio was saying, it's just a 2-1. It's that you're not comfortable. Yeah,
no, sure.
So that's why I'm not gonna say I want to lose with Inter because let's put the next gen against Inter because the game is no, of course not. But let me say, PSV Eindhoven is the game that you cannot fail, in my opinion. Okay, Mauro is like, I know that's exactly why we cannot go out against them. So,
yeah,
so that's my point. So
I think again, and to add on to that, I agree too. There's against PSV, it's up to us. Period. Like it's one game, it's one shot. Like I don't think there's much else to discuss there. And as you were saying, Matteo, like against Inter, we will win. We'll go against them. We'll fight because we know it's every season. It's the same thing. But there are other factors that will come in throughout the rest of the season. Against PSV, it's one shot. You're either in or you're out. See you next time. But again, against Inter, and going back to having to save some players and rest them up and all that. I mean, so far the season has not been incredible or that crazy. I think it's more the things that we have to gain from it than the ones that we have to lose. So I think we just go all out. We just go all out. We push. And again, we're not a Serie B team or Serie C where, then we cannot afford to talk with other teams and get new players and adjust things. I mean, we're Juventus at the end of the day. We have that history behind us. We have the present that we're dealing with, and for sure we'll have a better future. When it comes, who knows? But we gotta fight for it right now. Like, we can't just postpone every time and like, okay, because I'm the type of person who likes to be optimistic and positive, but we're Juventus. Like, you're one of the biggest teams in the world, and you just gotta show it. You just gotta go in and fight. We can't just preserve that. I understand there's been seasons where we've seen other teams that went in, risked it all, got injuries, didn't get good rest, and got past towards the end of the season. I understand, but we're not in that spot. We're not we're not Napoli right now. We're not first place. We're not trying to defend ourselves from everyone else and having to be super tactical about it, have like this big strategy. We just got to go in and win games. We have tied too many. We lost some that we could have had a better outcome. So I think this is the time to, considering the 3 wins, even if some of them, true, we didn't play at our best and we didn't have a great game. We just got to keep going. We just got to keep pushing. And those are the players that we have. We can't do much else about it.
Gio, I have a question for you. You will play Vlahovic or Colomani against Inter?
I mean, that's a great question. To be honest, I still give Vlahovic a lot of props, but I think for how we're playing against, for how we're playing with Colomani, because it feels like everyone else legs like revitalized with Colomani up front. Seems like he's leading the charge. His pace is different, and his style of playing is different. So I would again go for Colomani. And come on, man, how old is he? He's 23. How old is he? 22, 23. The kid needs to play, and especially the kid needs to be in games that are these big to understand what it really means. And whether he will come back to us or he will go to PSG, it doesn't matter. But he needs to test these games, for example, like against Inter, because then if we keep going through with Champions League, they're going to be bigger games, and he needs to be ready for it. I don't mind Vlahovic, but I think right now Vlahovic is in that, I don't know how to describe it, but like kind of like the oratorio striker.
Yeah, but I like his attitude 2 days ago when he came in the pitch. So I think he will get a chance, like, or against Inter or against, I hope against Inter.
But
actually, it's a team that he scored against them, like last 2 times he played.
He scored twice too.
He scored many goals against Italy, also with Fiorentina.
Yeah,
exactly. So, but I think he's one of those players that I think right now it's doing good for him. And Vlahovic, if you're watching this, we trust you, because I'm sure he's watching.
Yeah, it's there.
Get up.
I feel he's watching very closely what Colomani is doing, and I think he's a smart guy, and he knows that what he was missing and what another striker bring to the team.
But I think it's taking that pressure, because without Colomani, when he was playing all the time, it was always. We kept going, it's his fault. He can't hold the ball. He can't control. He can't do that. And then he would pull like some incredible hits or some crazy shots, out of the hat, out of the blue. So I think he has all the skills to do good. It's just that he built up so much pressure that he just needs this time. And I think it's great. I mean, when he comes in on the pitch, I feel like even his pace is different. He's hungry, he's showing, and his psychological level is like a little bit quieter, where he can just go in and do what he can do right now.
Can I say that I think Motta is not managing him well, though? He should have a little more of playing time. He's not having enough. It's good that he starts from the bench. He should start from the bench, but like he's not giving him enough time. There are, for example, this last game. Now we're talking about this guy should rest, this other guy should rest, and below us, would you start with Vlahovic or Colomani? That was the perfect game. Like he subbed Ildiz at halftime. He could have subbed Colomani at halftime. We were up 1-0. Colomani has played the freaking games. Vlahovic could have played the whole second half. Rest to Colomani, and now we're not here asking who should start. Obviously, it's going to start Colomani on Sunday with Inter. So that's something that the coach should do better. Having these players available. Now we're talking about, we were going with Jesus. We don't have any that can sub Vlahovic, and now we have Vlahovic on the bench that can come in. I mean, Vlahovic can come in a lot earlier than 8 minutes against Napoli or like 15 minutes against like PSV.
You're not wrong, but 5 goals in 3 games is difficult to take.
Yeah, but like he did it. He started playing, and then you're up one goal. You can go out in the first half. It's Vlahovic is coming in. It's not he's coming in like a kid from like next gen. So
to me, the question, the thing that now I'm not really connecting is how come he's struggling to give that trust to Vlahovic, but he has done for all the games to Cup minors. Because I feel like he's given.
Well, guys, but excuse me, but until 2 games ago, Vlahovic was always playing.
Yeah.
Bro.
Yeah, I understand it. It's not that we had many alternative on the midfield.
Yeah.
Well, guys, okay, but now that we have we can have a choice. I have a choice, and he's not playing. It actually now is becoming an issue because Vlahovic didn't play like 20 minutes out of 10. So come on, okay.
No, but like when you have like these games back to back to back, you need to handle the bench better when you have it. This is not about Vlahovic coming in. It's about like managing the players better.
Okay, we're talking about 20 minutes more or less. We're not talking about like it.
So how do you feel? How do you feel if Vlahovic would have played in this formation without Coop? Because most of Vlahovic that we've seen was with Coop behind him or next to him that basically didn't serve him at all. They didn't help each other at all. Like sure, there were pressure at times, but what have we seen of the combination of the two? Where with Colomani, he's combining with everyone, left and right, middle. Like, so are we talking about maybe Vlahovic needed more of that support?
But if I'm not wrong, we scored the second goal after Vlahovic went in, no?
Yeah,
we did.
I know he wasn't involved in the goal, but the presence to be there is a different presence because he's a different kind of player. I don't think he's. I'd be crazy to say that he's performing better than Colomani. There's no way that I can even say that. Colomani has been amazing. I never saw a player entering Juventus and 3 games and scoring 5 goals. I don't remember. To me, it has an amazing impact. But I think probably right now, because you have 2 games so close to each other, is a good time to make some adjustments. That's it. Simple.
So
Raffaele, what do you think?
You know this time of the night that I'm gonna be kicked out from my room. Okay, so Raffaele, what do you think about this? And then 1 minute to talk about the fan club because you're I guess the newest one. Okay, and then we're gonna do the prediction. So
okay, so in my view, I saw something different when Vlahovic came in during the last game. There was something. Obviously, we are not in the stadium. We're not, but even from the TV, you could see there was something different in his facial expression, the way that he was running after the ball, and I'm hoping that he starts against Inter. I think that if he does, it's like Motta, and I hope I'm not wrong, but I think Motta was trying to charge him to make him feel the pressure, and then he's gonna throw him in against Inter, and I hope that's gonna help him play well. It's not a revenge, but it's basically redeeming himself, showing what he is capable of doing, and I hope he gets to play from the beginning. But there is no question that Colomwani something. It's a great player, and
I
if
think
it
he
was
should
me, I
start.
would play with both.
I agree with you, with Rafael. I think he should start. I mean, he was our starter till 3 games ago. It's not now Vlahovic can't start a game against Inter. I think he should start. It would be a great also sign from the coach to the player saying, hey, you have my full trust. It's just like how things are done here. One plays one game, one plays another. That's how a big team works. I think he should start. It will be the right move, but we'll see.
Okay, Rafael, about the club, and then I wanna hear your prediction for your Juve Inter. And you know that I think you're gonna join the Empire State Club, right, in New York on Sunday, right?
So we are still talking about
okay.
the logistics, yeah. But basically, yes, we just started in November of 2024. We're officially granted the membership. So far, we're organizing events in New Jersey. The difference about New Jersey, you don't have really like a big city, or you have a couple of big cities, but it's basically the whole state. We are starting in northern New Jersey with having most of the watch parties. We're going to have some watch parties in central Jersey, and then hopefully some others in close to the Philadelphia area, basically Cherry Hill and that area. We have also had the pleasure to attend some games in Turin, so that was great. So we went to the Benfica game, obviously,
Not great.
without the result. Yeah, but the atmosphere was great, and the Empoli basically game redeemed the whole trip. So we came back very happy. I'm happy to be part of this family, and all our members are, very enthusiastic, very, they want to participate, and they are looking forward to events like Juventus events that maybe happen here in the States, like the ones that we had in Miami and in Houston. So everybody's really excited, and we're hoping to grow. We are just at the beginning. We're hoping to grow and
hopefully the team will help with that, because if we start winning a little bit, maybe
that does help a lot.
I have a question. Rafael, I have a question. So your members are all originally from New Jersey. They're like American, Italian American, or other nationalities. I'm just curious to see how it works over there.
So I would say like there is a core fan, which are basically hardcore fans. They were basically clicking on the Juventus website to see if the New Jersey fan club existed, and basically the next day they contacted me, hey, I want to be a member, right? So you have a core, and there are people from different backgrounds, different nationalities, Americans, we have people from Poland, we have people from basically different nationalities that live here in New Jersey. They're first generation, third generation Italian, but I would say it's more the love for Juventus,
of course,
than where you come from, or where ethnicity, nationality.
No, I was just curious because I don't know the area. I know here in LA with people from everywhere, South America, Asia, Italy, US. So I didn't know New Jersey.
Sicily.
I was, yeah, the background how it was there. So I was just out of curiosity.
Yeah, similar, I would say. Yeah.
Okay.
So prediction, Raffaele.
2-1 Juventus win.
Wow. Before Giulio go asking Giulio, I have a question for you.
Will you start Locatelli? I will start anybody but Locatelli. So
Locatelli needs to rest.
It needs to go. Not to rest. But okay, sorry, I didn't say that. Delete the last 3 seconds. Joe, prediction. Hey, by the way, you got come on Sunday, right?
I have to.
Okay.
They moved my game. I used to play on Sundays in the afternoon.
No.
They moved the game. I was like, sorry guys, I have to. I
You
can't.
play in the Sunday League?
Yeah, I do.
Ooh,
2 games,
nice.
5 goals. So me and Colo are like
right
Oh,
there.
yeah. Finally, it's a good addiction for our team.
Juntoli, if you're watching,
we're gonna have we're
call.
gonna have a pickup game, Joe. Just to let you know.
Perfect.
Sooner or later.
What I'm gonna say is definitely 1 goal difference, and it's either gonna be 2-1 or 3-2 for us.
Ooh, okay. Billo?
I say
Billo, are you coming on
since we
Sunday
did
now?
the fourth.
Are
So
you
I
coming
have. A
Are you
question
coming on
for
Sunday?
Giulio. Yes, I have a question for Giulio. Can you
Yes.
suggest me any place to buy purses in Rodeo Drive?
What about Rodeo Drive?
I need to buy some purses.
Yeah, what purses? Like, it depends. I mean,
Something look good with my eyes.
there are the Starbucks ones. They sell them in Rodeo Drive, so it depends what.
No, okay. Besides the jokes, I had to take my wife to Rodeo Drive, and I'm gonna come to the game. And I feel like since the
It's
first
gonna
one,
cost you a little bit.
This game.
Yeah.
I'm not using my money.
Okay, perfect.
I have an investing firm behind me, so.
for your
Thank
games.
No, I feel like so since the first game we did 4-4, I want to say 2-2.
Jeez, I was gonna say 2-2 too.
I say we win clean 2-0. Punto.
With a clean
Grande
sheet.
Giulio.
Wow. Well, I don't know, but I watched a game on Monday, Inter game on Monday. I never seen them so nervous as I seen them last Monday. They won the game, okay, and they clearly.
We know how they
what
won.
happened. We know how won, but they were so nervous. So we'll see. It's gonna be interesting.
But look at it. They tied against Milan at the very last minute with like.
Yeah, but they
Right.
deserved. They didn't have a bad game against.
No,
Milan, actually.
absolutely. But still, there was some struggle happening there. And then with Fiorentina 3-0,
Yeah.
and then again, not
Barely won. Yeah.
So we're gonna snatch the 3 points.
But they're rested.
Actually, Thuram if Thuram is gonna miss the game, their Thuram, he can be. I'm gonna be happy because I think Thuram, like in the last year, he really become like a really good striker, especially for the Italian league. But anytime I see him playing, I'm actually impressed with him. Actually, I hope that our Thuram that supposedly is ceiling is higher than Marcus Thuram can grow like his brother. So because really, Marcus Thuram was impressing me, and I didn't have and I never like him. So I'm sorry,
And
this is something nice for now.
Loca's gonna score. Just so you
Who?
know. Loca.
Excuse me, stop a second.
hope.
Stop. If no, the point is, if Loca is going to score, Giulio buy a round of goodness for everybody.
Yeah.
No, Matteo buys a gun. He always like cleans shit on me. Matteo buys like a round of beginners to everybody.
Wow, I have already. I invest all of my
I mean-
money in our merchandise that you don't like.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, green.
No, I say if Dusan scores is Matteo, if Locatelli scores is Giulio.
Mm.
Grazie al cazzo. So, and if Colombo scores, you buy 2 purses to either in Rodeo Drive.
The last
One
time
for
the
Giulio,
Locatelli
one
scored
for Giulio, one for Heather.
Yeah,
2 years ago against Milan, the last time the Locatelli scored ever.
Yeah. So
Okay, sure.
Sounds good.
I mean,
Yeah, I'm down. I'm
no
definitely
problem.
down.
All right,
I'm definitely down to this.
that's fine. That's totally fine.
Are we gonna flash a toilet too? I tell you talk about the
Oh,
Inter?
we started the episode like that, flushing the toilets.
I'm gonna wear a robe like you after.
yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
I'm gonna clip this. Okay. No,
I mean, it
okay.
would be appropriate considering the nickname of the team we play against. So,
Oh yeah, of course,
With
absolutely.
the Inter toilet paper.
so you know, it would be the context would be appropriate.
Yeah.
Guys.
Start calling VAR right now to wake up. Start warming up now because
Jeez,
you know how they are.
Yeah.
GDP, gross domestic product.
I did.
All right.
Guys, they're kicking me out. So sorry. I'm the boss of the house and they're kicking me out. I'm not the boss of the house, and that's why they're kicking me out. See you, all of you, on Sunday. Rafael, maybe I see you on the camera on Sunday, maybe. Okay, hopefully, because we know, guys, we're gonna be a guest, CBS Colasso, right, Giulio?
Yes.
Okay.
CBS
So-
Paramount Plus is gonna have a camera live on us and a couple of other fan clubs.
One more thing for Raffaele. Next time you're gonna play the piano over there.
That's just a fake background. I wish that was my house. But yeah.
Wait, no, which jersey is that one? Is the goalie jersey, right? Which jersey you're wearing right now?
This is the Buffon jersey.
Oh, it's the Buffon. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, we have Coppa Italia, Scudetto,
Yeah, who are you?
Buffon, number one. That's what we want to
The
be
full
back
package. The full
Yeah.
package.
Yeah. When we were winning the Scudettini. Okay. Guys, Raffaella, thank you so much. You know that you're always more than welcome here and all your members. Okay, so spread the news about us. You can share the link and everything. So we are doing this you see, we're definitely not serious. We just wanna, actually, I would like to have a beer, but we need to do this a little bit earlier because I should have a tisana right now, not a beer, because I'm old. And fino alla fine, guys, I'll talk to you on tomorrow, Sunday, every time. So
Forza Juve.
Forza Juve.
Sempre.